ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by McDonald's. Welcome to Aggie Stadium in Greensboro, North Carolina, for this MEAC battle between the Hampton Pirates and the North Carolina A&T Aggies. Look at the MEAC standings. Both these teams have already lost to South Carolina State. Hampton looking for its first conference win of this 2014 season. So glad you could join us for Thursday Night Football on ESPNU, along with former NFL quarterback Jay Walker. I'm Mark Neely. Jay, you and I were in Atlanta 5 days ago on Saturday, and North Carolina A&T, going into that game against South Carolina State, high expectations. With Quayshawn Quick, their starting quarterback, hurt. They get shut out. Their outlook has totally changed.
Wow, what a difference a week can make. This was a team that was playing probably some of the best football in all of HBCU football, but you lose your quarterback, bad things happen. Now, this becomes a football team with so many question marks. More importantly, how they're going to figure out a way to put points on the board with a true freshman at quarterback.
And a much different outlook for Rod Broadway's team. And in that game Saturday against South Carolina State, Tariq Cohen was limited to 49 yards rushing. Does he get back on the horse tonight?
He has to get back on the horse tonight if North Carolina A&T wants to have a chance at winning here at home. Tariq Cohen is a dynamic running back, but I think they're going to change up their philosophy and how they use him. They were so reliant upon the read option that teams keyed in on him. Look for Tariq Cohen to get involved in the passing game, in the screen game. They're going to come up with creative ways to get him the football because he's such a difference maker, and they want to see him rush for maybe 100 yards, but also receive about 50 yards as well.
So the Hampton Pirates are here in Greensboro tonight. That means their head coach, Connell Maynor, who was the quarterback here at A&T. He's a Hall of Famer. But his running back, Jorian Washington, reminds me a lot of Tariq Cohen.
Tariq Cohen is really good. He's been getting all the headlines, but Jorian Washington is fantastic. If you talk to the coaching staff at Hampton, they say, we have the best running back in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, but I'll take it a step further. He's also one of the best backs, period, in all of FCS football. He gets an opportunity to go carry for carry versus one of the best here tonight in Greensboro.
It's Rod Broadway in his fourth season as the A&T head coach. North Carolina A&T did win the toss. They have deferred. So Hampton to get the football to begin this game. Breon Key and Jorian Washington are back deep. And Cody Jones kicking off. We are underway from Greensboro. Washington from a couple of yards deep brings it out. Angling to the near side, a little stumble at the 15, but keeps his feet across the 20 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line, run out by Marquise Boyan. The Pirates offense, of course, Jorian Washington is a big part of that, running back, but their junior quarterback, Jalen Williamson, he's only 5'9", Jay, but he gets rid of the ball very quickly. They have a very effective passing game.
They really spread things out, and that's what happens when your head coach is a former quarterback and then Hall of Fame quarterback here at this school. I really like their scheme, schematically, what they try and do in attacking defenses. Williamson can be limited in his ability to throw the ball downfield, but in terms of the short intermediate throws, he's very efficient.
Well, they come out with Eric Carter as the back. And Carter has the first carry straight ahead for a gain of about 5 up to the 26-yard line, brought down by Landis Schaffner. Let's take a look at the impact players when Hampton has the football.
When you watch film of Hampton, one thing that stands out is the ability of number 15, Rashawn Proctor, to get open. He can run by guys. It's just a matter as if the quarterback can get it to him. And Lorenz Suttles, you see the numbers, but this defense for North Carolina A&T, they really ride off of his emotion along with Devontae Grant, the senior linebacker.
Washington is now in the backfield as the running back for Hampton. Keeping. Williamson throws downfield, incomplete, intended for Rashad Riddick. Marquise Boyan there on the coverage. Look at the Hampton offense. The Hampton offense, quite frankly, Jay, has done a lot of good things, but they have some issues getting the football in the end zone.
Yep, their red zone efficiency is one of the worst you're going to see in college football. They have to learn how to finish drives. They can move the ball up and down the field, but they have trouble putting touchdowns on the scoreboard.
Yeah, North Carolina A&T defense very stingy. Gave up only 13 points Saturday, but were shut out. 13-0, and that almost intercepted by Lorenz Suttles. You were just mentioning.
He's a ball hawk. He's a guy that's going to be around the football. They ride off his emotions. We talked about Williamson limited and how he can throw the ball with a lot of velocity. Three-step drop. This ball kind of hangs, and you'll see Suttles makes a good break on the football. And that was a touchdown-saving tackle by Rashad Riddick.
Christian Faber Kinney on to punt for Hampton, averaging 41 yards per punt. Darren Bullock back at the 25-yard line to receive for A&T. Faber Kinney gets the punt away. A short, wobbly punt that's going to go out of bounds right near midfield.
Talking about why they lost the game last week. They started a freshman quarterback, but they didn't get any help. Drop balls, ball after ball, put on the turf. Poor execution with the center snap over the head of the quarterback. Special teams let them down with the block punt that resulted in 7 points for South Carolina State. And then they just did not give that overall effort you need to give when you're helping out a freshman quarterback starting in his first collegiate game.
So here's career start number 2 for Hassan Klug. Last week, as you mentioned, didn't get a lot of help. Had some flashes where he played well, but definitely needs some more help. Cohen for just about a yard to the 49 of Hampton. That was only a 24-yard punt, by the way, so A&T trying to take advantage of some very good starting field position.
Once again, you can see they're trying to use the read option for Tariq Cohen. Hampton came out and said, we are not going to allow Cohen to beat us. The freshman quarterback's going to have to make some plays.
Klug sets up the screen, and Cohen drops it. Very catchable football for the running back.
Tough one for Cohen to get. In the screen passing game, it's all about the timing. You can tell the timing was not there. This ball has a lot of velocity on it for it to be a screen pass. And if you're going to throw a ball with a downward motion like that, so close to you, if it's not a perfect pass, don't expect the receivers to hold on to the football.
3rd down and 9. Klug steps into that throw, and that looked like a catchable football for Lawrence down around his waist at the 30-yard line of Hampton.
Once again, you have to help out your quarterback. He's a freshman. If he makes a throw that's in your vicinity, your thought process has to be, I'm making the catch. But one thing you have to do as a quarterback, if you've got a speed, you're coming across a formation, you cannot throw it behind the wide receiver. Very tough to catch.
Yeah, definitely behind him. Take a look at the replay. So 4th down and 9, and Cody Jones on to punt. Both teams are 3 and out on their first possession of this game. Rashad Riddick back at the Pirates 10 to receive this punt, and the Pirates have it look like they're coming after this. Low punt. It's going to bounce inside the 10 and roll all the way to the end zone. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Second possession for the Hampton Pirates coming up when we return to Greensboro.
I love coming into Bass Pro Shops. It's great brands from Coleman and North Face.
ESPN is your home of the new college football playoff.
Welcome back to Greensboro, North Carolina. A scoreless game. North Carolina A&T hosting Hampton. The Hampton head coach, Connell Maynor, his first season as the head coach of the Pirates. He played here at A&T, played quarterback, first team All-MEAC in 90 and 91, and was inducted into the A&T Sports Hall of Fame just a month ago here.
Connell Maynard, one of those MEAC legends you talk about, particularly in the town of Greensboro, North Carolina. He was here what they call the glory years, the golden/glory years. He was a big part of it.
Here's the pitch to Jorian Washington running left. Breaks one tackle. All the way up near the 30-yard line. Run out there by Denzel Jones. Washington, 5'8", 167-pounder.
But he runs strong. Watch him run through this tackle. Decides not to make a miss. Takes that hit square on and able to pick up yards after contact. That's the sign of any great running back, the ability to pick up yards after contact or make the first defender miss.
And picked up 9 on first down, and here's the fullback. Picks up the first down. Thomas Allen. You see the Hampton offense in passing yards per game and yards per game They're tops in the conference, Jay, but points per game, 6th.
that's like an oxymoron. Something is not in rhythm.
Completed pass to Rayshawn Proctor, and a flag is out. Proctor with the reception at the 45.
Personal foul, top block, offense, number 2. He hit a player low while the player was engaged high. 15-yard penalty, second down.
So the chop block involved the running back, Jorian Washington. Now there has to be another party to that as part of the chop block.
So one player's engaged.
They were both low, weren't they?
Yeah, the technicality is if one person's already engaged up top, you cannot go low and hit below the waist. That was a tough break there on Washington because it looked as if the player was falling down, and clearly the blocker was falling off the block as well.
And it erased a completed pass, so puts him behind the chains at first at 25, and Williamson about lost the football, but here on the run comes Washington up to the 35-yard line, so he gains about 11 or 12 of that right back before he's tackled by Lorenz Suttles. Well, he's fortunate he didn't lose his football here.
Yeah, Williamson's going to go down, but good awareness to just put the ball in the air and allow Washington to pick up the football and pick up yards. And it seems like Jordan Washington is running with the purpose here tonight. I think maybe the coaches told him, hey, they're talking about Tariq Cohen as everybody's All-American. They strongly feel he's the best runner in the conference, and maybe I'll prove a point tonight.
2 carries so far, 21 yards, and he has another carry, brings down that high pitch, running left, and is tackled for a loss back at the 32 by Angelo Keys. He loses 3. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and long.
This is an area where you have to be very protective with the football if you're Hampton. This is a very opportunistic defense in North Carolina A&T. Team that has 12 interceptions, 10 of them alone come from the secondary. When the ball's in the air, they like to break on the football and create turnovers.
Hampton, though, 15th in the nation in converting on 3rd down, but now a 3rd and 15. Williamson throws to the far sideline looking for Rayshad Riddick, but incomplete at the 45. That was a few yards shy of the marker anyway. Tony McCray had the coverage on Riddick.
Did you see the break on the ball by Tony McCray? I mean, that's a game plan. When you talk to defensive coordinator Sam Washington, he says if they try and throw the ball downfield, we're going after it. We think we can get interceptions because of the lack of velocity on the throws from Williamson.
Christian Faber-Kinney's first punt went for only 24 yards. Go on for his second. Darren Bullock back at the 25 of A&T. Better punt, but not a great one. It is going to take a Pirates roll inside the 20-yard line. Down there. That time a 47-yard punt with the roll. Well, college football Saturday on ESPNU at 3:30 Eastern. A little last weekend and shaking things up.
I don't think the playoff selection committee can handle another wild weekend such as last week.
Low throw, but caught by Lawrence. He was kind of standing around there. He's advanced all the way up to the 28-yard line. First completed pass of the game. Look at our impact players when A&T has the football.
Joshua Thorne has to be all over the field. The junior linebacker from Oxon Hill, Maryland, leads this team in tackles for loss. They need tackles behind the line of scrimmage. And Desmond Lawrence, he's a burner. He can flat out fly. You have to get him involved in the passing game.
Here comes Tariq Cohen trying to turn that left corner using the block from the wide receiver Xavier Griffin.
Tariq Cohen on the carry.
But Cambrell McGee knocks him out after a gain of 5. Cohen, such an important part of the offense. See Hassan Klug there, the true freshman quarterback making his second start. First down run, Cohen, and he is hit for a loss. In fact, I think he lost his shoe thanks to Keith McAfee, the blitzing middle linebacker, a loss of 2. You can lose your shoe and not come out of the game. You lose your helmet, you come out. Lose a shoe, you put it right back on. Push back down to their own 31. It's second down at 12. The delay to Cohen, straight ahead with running room, and he It's going to be very close to the first down at the 43-yard line, pulled down by Keith McAfee.
This is the Pirate defense that gives up 210 yards rushing on average per game. Tariq Cohen was licking at the chops at the opportunity. Takes a draw screen. Nice hold by William Ray Robertson in the center. Ronald Canty pick up the first down for the Aggies.
Gain 12. Now Cartwright in the game. Klug keeping it, faking the handoff, and he is dropped for a loss of a yard and a half by Keith McAfee. McAfee, a junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So he's back in his home state.
We talked about the numbers that Hampton gives up on defense. Well, they traditionally run a 3-4 defense. Well, they've made the switch because the rushing numbers were so poor. So they've gone to a 4-3 alignment with 4 defensive linemen.
Klug throws on the move and throws wide of Bullock, incomplete near midfield. McGee on the coverage. Down on the field before the game, Jay, we had a chance to take a peek. Quayshawn Quick was participating in the pregame warm-ups. Still has that left knee wrapped up, but they're hoping next week that he would be able to come back.
They need Quick back. He's a difference maker. His athleticism is what they really miss when he escapes the pocket. He's such a threat rushing the football.
3rd and long, a 3rd and 11. Well, Cartwright the back. 2 receivers to each side. Bullock the receiver in the slot here on the near side with Griffin at the bottom of the screen. And play clock ran down, or was about to run down.
That's their first charge timeout they had. It's a 30-second timeout.
A&T uses their first timeout.
Correction. The timeout has...
He's back.com.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state.
Really pleasant day here in Greensboro on the North Carolina A&T campus, and a pleasant evening tonight as well at Aggie Stadium. This MEAC matchup between Hampton and North Carolina A&T, and Tremaine Henry is the interim defensive coordinator. Hampton's defensive coordinator Kenny Phillips today announced taking a personal leave of absence. So Henry takes over as the defensive coordinator. So out of the timeout for A&T, a 3rd down and 11. Klug, quick strike to the back. Cohen spins forward all the way to the 45. That's McAfee with the tackle, but a first down run of 13 yards for Tariq Cohen.
And that's what they missed last week. Help out the young quarterback. Give him an easy throw, swing pass out in open space to your best offensive weapon and allow him to make good things happen. I like the adjustment by offensive coordinator Ricky Bussell getting the ball to Tariq Cohen in space.
3rd and 11, he ran for 13. They bring in Cartwright this time. He's tackled by McAfee. A couple of yards, make it 3.
When you look at the numbers, you say, how can Hampton keep up with North Carolina A&T? This is an offense that averages 31 points a game. Well, we saw A&T struggle on Saturday, and now since the new defensive coordinators come in and put in the 4-3 defense, they're playing their best football on the defensive side as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here tonight.
And the true freshman Cartwright battling his way near another first down. Tackled again by the middle linebacker McAfee. Cartwright, a true freshman, Jay's a local kid from just west of here, just a few miles west of High Point, North Carolina.
And he's not lacking in confidence. At the walkthrough yesterday, he had an opportunity to sit down and talk to the young man. He's going to be a good one. And as an offensive coordinator, you love it when you can have a 1-2 punch. Cohen has star power, but Cartwright is no slouch on his own either.
3rd and short, and Cartwright didn't get much, if anything. Back to about the line of scrimmage, stopped by Tyrone Ward.
Tyrone Ward, a good job coming up from his weak side position, linebacker position, crashing on the football. Great push by nose tackle number 96, Charles Owens, not allowing the pile to go anywhere. You see number 96, when that's your nose tackle pushing the pile, that means he's winning his battle, making it a standstill. Defensive coordinators love that because it really eliminates run penetration through the teeth of the defense.
Jay, I think they were debating about going for this here at this particular spot on the field, but they're going to kick it. Going to punt it. Cody Jones will try to pin Hampton in deep. Rashad Riddick back around his own 10, angling towards that far side. And once again, it's going to bounce into the end zone. Tony McCray down there trying to keep it out of the end zone and pin him inside the 5.
Good effort by McCray, but this style of kick has too much momentum. The ball almost takes him into the end zone. He tries to leave it there like you're coached to do, but his momentum was going so far trying to adjust to the football. And that's 2 times North Carolina A&T has had the ball on the 50-yard line moving in and tried to win the battle of field position by punting the ball on special teams. And twice they've kicked it into the end zone, allowing Hampton to get the ball on the 20-yard line.
McCray right back to work at his cornerback spot as Hampton offense out for a 3rd time. A look Washington's way, but the pass to T.J. Mixon, and he's dropped for a loss back at the 17.
Can't say enough about the defensive unit for North Carolina A&T. Not a very big unit, but they're very opportunistic, and they played a whale of a football game versus South Carolina State last week, holding a very good Bulldog offense to only 13 points, and one of those came off of special teams. This defense is starting to have folks remember the old Blue Death defense they used to have here in the early 90s in Aggie land.
After a loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Fake the handoff to Washington. Williamson, plenty of time, throws across the middle. Caught by Rashad Riddick. A little bit of a juggle, but he hangs on for a 1st down up to the 36-yard line. Brought down by Marquise Boyan for a gain of 18.
Jay Walker, you say I can't push the ball down the field? Well, watch Jalen Williamson deliver this ball on the money. Let the play develop, crossing route in the formation. Great protection, allowing Riddick to come all the way across the formation, settle in the soft spot, and pick up the 1st down for the Pirates.
Hand it off this time. Washington trying to get around the left side. Couple of yard gain.
This is what makes him a special back. That was a boring play right there, right? But look how exciting this was. Look at how many people he makes miss when there's absolutely nothing there at all. You're going to see him get the ball, stop. There's nothing there. Bounce to the outside, cut back in the inside, spin, pick up an extra yard. That was a nothing play that he managed to gain 3 yards out of. That's why offensive coordinators like having special running backs.
A senior from Los Angeles, California, Washington. The carry again, and this time does turn that left corner for another 1st down all the way up near midfield. Tackled by Kenneth Melton.
Good football play right here. Watch him find the crease. When Hampton University gets to the outside, Jordan Washington knows how to finish off runs. You mentioned the senior from Los Angeles, California, graduated from Dorsey High School. They've got a football factory there. Guys like Keyshawn Johnson went to Dorsey High School.
Ran for 15 there, so he has 5 carries for 37 yards. Washington came in averaging 75 rushing yards. Eric Carter, a freshman, for just a yard. Devontae Grant, among others, there for A&T.
See the mix-up by play selection for Hampton. They're running to the perimeter, then they're not giving up running to the middle. The reason being is North Carolina A&T has a small defensive line. They average 265 pounds per man. They think there's some yards that can be gained in the middle of the defense. Free
play here for Hampton, it appears. Up for grabs, Gooding, the intended receiver, at the 30-yard line. And a couple of A&T defenders jumped.
Offside, defense, number 97, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Well, they pinned it on 97, James Morris.
Could have been a take your pick on the right side of your TV screen. Playing a little game of follow the leader.
It's going to bring Morris out of the football game. And with the penalty, marking it up 5 yards, just a 2nd down and 3 upcoming. Well, that helmet looks like it's been through a battle already.
That's called being down in the trenches. That's what it's supposed to look like if you're doing your job effectively down there.
Washington! Absolutely mauled by Michael Neal.
Michael Neal shot out of a canyon, the junior from Greensboro, North Carolina, from his nose tackle position. Look at the jump on the ball. He's going to make a beeline to the ball carrier. Shoots the gap and finishes it off the play. That's his third tackle for loss on the season. That's what you want, tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
The A&T rush defense tops in the FCS. No surprise, they've had that kind of defense the last few years. Here comes the rush, and Williamson deep drop, setting it up for Washington, but he'll gain about 3 back to the 40. And it's going to be 4th and a long 3 or 4. Malik Hampton Prelow, the tackle for A&T. Rod Broadway, now in his 4th season. See, total defense, rushing defense. You know, last year led the nation. This year down to 39, but it's still a pretty darn good rushing defense, Jay.
Yeah, and they're going to work on that. And Coach Broadway's forte before he got here, he was a defensive coordinator before he ever was a head coach, so no surprise that most of his teams are fueled by their defense.
Faber-Kinney fakes it, and he runs for the first down. Still on his feet, inside the 15, inside the 10. And Hampton runs a fake punt with Christian Faber-Kinney. And he goes for 32 yards, and it's 1st and goal, Pirates.
So eager to set up the punt return. Nobody outside the hash, and great recognition by Faber-Kinney, showing some athleticism at the end of the run, picking up extra yards because he knows his team struggles to put points on the board. Now I want to see this. Last time when they played South Carolina State, twice they had the ball inside the 10-yard line of the Bulldogs. Twice they came away with missed field goal opportunities. Let's see if this offense has learned how to put a team away.
Well, Washington would be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage there. Daniel Penix, Marquise Ragland drop him for a loss of a yard. Well, this has been the bugaboo, Jay, for Hampton. They can get the ball down the field. Sticking it in the end zone has been a whole other story for Connell Maynard's team. Washington broke a tackle but then gets stood up. His momentum stopped by Daniel Maddox, as well as Daniel Penix.
Hampton's going in the wrong direction. Red zone issues continue to be a point of concern. Good job of the yellow jerseys. Run gap defense in unison. One thing that North Carolina A&T said they would do whenever Williamson got underneath the center, they're going to bring more outside pressure than usual because Hampton likes to run bootlegs so much.
Timeout called by the Pirates on a 3rd and goal.
Hampton. It's a full media timeout.
So we'll step aside as well. Scoreless game here in Greensboro.
TCU Baylor, Saturday at 3:30.
North Carolina A&T State University.
This is the weekend everybody seems to have been.
Brendan, thanks very much. Shocking story out of Athens today, Jay.
That story could have Heisman Trophy implication. Going into the break, though, we see Connell Maynard talking to his center, Michael Young. Some lack of communication somewhere along the line.
11th play of the drive and a touchdown. T.J. Mixon, his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. Before that catch, Jay, Hampton had only scored 3 points in the first quarter all season. And that 3 points came in their last game against South Carolina State.
Found a way to put points on the board. Great move by Mixon. And you don't have plenty of arm strength. The one thing that negates that, location. Great location on the pass. from Jalen Williamson.
Prevost extra point will not count as a whistle at the snap.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5 yards. Still a try.
So an 8-yard touchdown catch for T.J. Mixon, who's out of Charlotte, a sophomore. His 3rd catch of the season, but his 2nd touchdown catch. So he's been very productive when he catches the football.
Call him the red zone machine for the Pirates.
Well, this is going to turn the point after basically into a 25-yard attempt for Prevost out of the hold of the punter Christian Faber-Kinney, who's fake punt a big part of that drive that kept it going, and he does knock it through. It makes it 7-0. An 11-play, 80-yard drive.
Capped off by a great route by Mixon. You're going to see Mixon line up in the slot. This is what we call an old stick route. Get up here, sell it this way, then get back to the middle of the end zone. This is picture perfect how you run this route. Watch him set it up. Give him the stick. He bites. Come across the middle. Great location of the throw. I really like the way Williamson led him away from the linebacker that was waiting on him in the end zone. That's your responsibility as a quarterback, not to allow your receiver to get hit. Lofted over his head.
So Hampton accomplishes something here, Jay, scoring in the first quarter and scoring, obviously, when reaching the red zone. 2 areas that they've been very deficient in this year.
And you can tell, let's not forget, this is Coach Maynard's first year with this program. And schematically, when you watch them on film, they have some things that they're putting in place that can work. Do they have the personnel? And the personnel starting to learn the coach. And this is a team that's trying to get back to the glory years when they were one of the dominant programs in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference as well as FCS football. And they're just trying to get the talent to match the scheme. And I think the Pirates aren't that far away. It was a great hire when they brought in Connell Maynard, a proven winner in the coaching ranks.
Kick from Prevost is short. Taking it the 19-yard line. Falling forward to the 30. So a return of 11 for Caleb Gabriel, one of the up men. Now, there was a really interesting article in today's local paper about Connell Maynard, how he had been passed over for the job here at his alma mater at A&T. And basically, Maynard came out and said, Jay, hey, I love A&T. You know, this is my school. I support Rod Broadway. Would I like to basically, he said he wouldn't mind coaching her someday, but he says, hey, right now I'm with Hampton and my job is to beat A&T.
Read that article too, huh?
Yes.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but I mean, this is home, and I don't think it's not to Coach Broadway, his alma mater.
This is Cohen trying to weave his way through a crowd for about 2 yards.
But I think at a certain point as a quarterback, I feel like we built this program we had on such a high level, and to sit and not be part of the solution to fixing the program, that can be frustrating. I think that's what you heard from Connell Maynard when he was applying for the job, thinking that he could bring them back to the glory days. Rob Broadway's done a pretty good job stabilizing this program, and now they have high expectations as well.
That's the end of the first quarter here in Greensboro. It was a fake punt. Great job by the punter Christian Faber-Kinney to keep the drive alive, and then Mixon with the 8-yard touchdown catch. 7-0 Hampton after 1.
Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Saturday on ESPN.
The training staff said
McNair Hall is part of the A&T School of Engineering here in Greensboro. Ronald McNair lost his life. The Space Shuttle Challenger exploded in January of 1986, but Ronald McNair, alum of A&T, received his physics degree from North Carolina A&T in 1971. One of the outstanding alums of North Carolina A&T. Cohen breaks free across midfield. Only one defender. Key has a chance to get him, and Key will not get him. 68-yard touchdown. The catch and run for Tariq Cohen.
You don't catch home run hitters, Mark. When he got that ball in the open space and it was he and one man to beat to the end zone, the difference between an average running back, this is just a long completion. Between a special running back, it becomes a touchdown. Watch him split the defense, recognize where the end zone is, turn on the jets, make it a foot race between he and Breon Key, realize he has one more move to get to the end zone. That is how you finish off a play. Tariq Cohen showing you he's more than just a running back and a danger out of the backfield. He can be efficient in the passing game as well.
Jones' extra point ties it at 7. That run 19 yards longer than the 49 yards he had in the entire game Saturday in Atlanta against South Carolina State.
Cohen's one of those guys, I said, he's an edge-of-your-seat type of runner. Whenever he touches the football, you should stay on the edge of your seat because he's liable to break one on every occasion, and he showed right there. And once again, go back to crediting the offensive coordinator, Ricky Bussell, finding creative ways to get Tariq Cohen involved in the offense. You know that Hampton wants to take away Cohen, but he did a good job of moving him around and not having him in the traditional spot you're used to seeing.
College football Saturday on ESPNU, first at noon. 8th touchdown of the season for Tariq Cohen. He was the MEAC Rookie of the Year last year. Did not become the starter until about 5 weeks into the season. He ran for 1,148 yards. Washington and Banks back deep for Hampton. 68-yard touchdown run for Cohen has quickly tied this up a few seconds into the second quarter. Washington. Flag comes out as he is tackled at the 28-yard line by Tony McCray. Here's our referee tonight, Daryl Davis. We've seen a lot of Daryl recent weeks. Return coming back.
Doing the return. Illegal block in the back. 50 of the return team had the distance to the goal. First down.
North Carolina A&T blue and gold marching machine. And the golden lights are around as well.
There you go, Mark. You have to include that.
Yes.
You learn.
Slowly but surely, partner. Beautiful night here at Greensboro for this MEAC matchup. A&T and Hampton. Thanks to the penalty, the Pirates begin this drive at their own 7-yard line. After an 11-play, 80-yard drive and a touchdown on their last possession. Fullback Allen with the carry. Well, North Carolina A&T, 6 MEAC championships, charter member of the MEAC back in 1970, defeated Tennessee State in '99 with their one FCS playoff win, but this program was really struggling before Rod Broadway got here, Jay. They were 1-10 the year before Broadway's arrival.
And this was a program that kind of lost its identity after the departure of Bill Hayes. Bill Hayes was responsible for a number of those MEAC championships, and I think saw something where the last 10 years they've gone through 5 different head coaches before Broadway came and brought stability to the program.
And off Washington. A first down carry across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Stopped by DeAnthony Ross. A run of 10 for Washington.
And you just get the feeling that we hit it dead on in the open, that this game is going to be determined by the running backs. It's one of those old-fashioned games. Anything you do, I can do one better. So Washington had some early success. He rushed for 40 yards in the first quarter. Cohen was silent, and then Cohen had a game breaker, and now Washington adding a little extra pep to his step.
9 carries, 43 yards for Washington. Right back to him. We're about to.
This is the matchup I don't think Hampton can win. I think when you look at them on film, the North Carolina A&T offensive line is a little bit better than Hampton's offensive line. Hampton has a nice scheme that uses Washington in multiple formations, but running north-south between the tackles is not shown to be the strong suit for the offensive line from Hampton.
Eric Carter comes in, replacing Washington. The Pirates without junior running back Christopher Dukes tonight. He's out banged up. That shortened up their running back rotation a bit. Using the true freshman Carter. Here is Eric Carter. Nice run for the freshman, keeping those feet moving all the way up to the 30. The 31-yard line. He's refusing to be tackled there. Finally a whistle after his momentum was stopped by Zarius Lockhart, the free safety. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Jack Britt High School. Eric Carter Jr. Does have a couple of rushing touchdowns coming into this game. Only 11 carries on the season coming into tonight. Again, with Dukes not playing, more time for Carter. Spotted up, and that's going to be enough for a first down. So they'll move the chains and a first down for the Pirates at their own 31.
Williamson's under center. Keep in mind, they like to run the bootleg play action. That's a staple of their offense.
He pitches to Carter, and Carter with another run of 10+ yards. That for about 11. And a first down up to the 42.
Take a look at a body on a body. Pulling the guard around. Corey Alpici, number 61, gets to the second level on the block, and the rest is just good hard-nosed running by the freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And that's what you have to do. If you can't win the battle in the trenches, old-fashioned sweep. Get some help over there, pull a guard around, and allow your runners to get the ball in the open field and see if they can make somebody miss.
Washington returns to the backfield. And now he'll have the carry. Steady diet of keeping it on the ground here, even though Jay Williamson has actually hit his last 4 passes in a row. It's a gain of 5 on the ground for Washington. Down by Lockhart. There's Zarius Lockhart, a redshirt freshman who's from Auburn, Alabama.
Give him credit. He's actually earned that playing time. As a freshman, so they want you to be you have to be the end-all be-all. When you play that free safety position, you're not allowed to miss tackles. Because if your free safety's missing tackles, those are big plays by the offense. Williamson
Swings it out. Washington sidesteps one defender, a second, but not a third and fourth. Developed the 47-yard line. Again by Zarius Lockhart. We'll sort out the penalty. But another example there, Jay Washington. The chances of tackling him on first contact are pretty remote.
Block in the back. Second down.
Well, the microphone broke up, but apparently he said there was not a block in the back as they had initially perhaps thought. So they pick up the flag, and it's a second down and 5. They get a
impressive drive by the Pirates, considering where they started the drive. They've been able to move the ball almost to midfield.
So it's a third down and 5. Well played, Carter. Ball's about a yard and a half short of the first down. Brought down by Joshua Patrick. Michael Young, the center, lost his helmet, so he has to come off, but it's fourth down.
And that's one of those instances where the helmet rule, concerns me a little bit. Let's suppose it's 4th and 1, not 4th and 2, and they're thinking about going for it.
Not having your center would be a big decision.
Not having your center would be a big decision, and you can call a timeout. But in such situations, timeout is the last thing that you want to have to do.
Well, A&T is going to use a timeout. Remember the last time Hampton lined up to punt, Christian Faber-Kinney, and the Pirates faked it and ran for 30-some-odd yards for a first down, a first and goal, and wound up eventually scoring a touchdown. This is the last time they lined up to punt. Late in the first quarter, and Faber-Kinney took off, and he had a lot of green to run.
There's nobody within 15 yards on the left hash. One person to beat, and he was athletic enough to put the Pirates in scoring position, and they capitalized on the drive, scoring a touchdown. One of the Achilles heels for North Carolina A&T has been the special teams. We saw the block punt by South Carolina State on Saturday, and today special teams lets them down again.
And They came into this game with a total of only 3 first-quarter points. That did change with the touchdown catch by Vixen late in the first quarter here tonight.
And let's think about this, too. I mean, they gave up 41 points to the Old Dominion. Very respectable. 42 points to William and Mary.
Well, A&T called the timeout, and
because the center gets to come back in the game now. Michael Young is allowed to come back in the game at center.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Oh, it took too much time, and now the punting unit's going to come back on the field.
But the three, going back to that Hampton defense, the 3 teams that scored over 40 points, Richmond, William and Mary, Old Dominion, all really, really good football teams. But when they got in the conference play, South Carolina State, one of the favorites, only able to score 17 points on the Pirates.
Faber-Kinney does punt it away this time with Bullock. Going to let it bounce at the goal line and go into the end zone for a touchback. 55-yard punt. When we come back to Greensboro, we're going to find out what Jay Walker's watching this weekend. The Big 12 now, with TCU beating Oklahoma last weekend to get a team in the college football playoff. Maybe it's TCU that would have to win out to be the Big 12 rep, huh?
Sound like my good friend Robert Smith. Right now, he's got them as their number 4 team, make it into the playoff if it were today.
Jet sweep. Here's Lawrence. Desmond Lawrence down the sideline. Bumped out at the 45-yard line by Jordan Hill, the free safety. But a flag is out. Back at the 34. It's going to erase a 26-yard gain.
Holding, offense, number 5, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, wait a minute.
Can't be on number 5.
Yeah, he's the guy who caught the football.
On the jet sweep, Desmond Lawrence. That's a staple for North Carolina A&T. Comes across the formation. He runs track for North Carolina A&T, one of the fastest men in the country, a qualifier. I didn't see a hold. You know, you start to question how was he able to secure the edge so well, but that's just something that North Carolina A&T does. Speed got him around the corner. Tough break for the Aggies.
They've been on number 1, Keys, who was blocking there on that edge, so could be about a foul of 1st and 6 after they mark it off. Tariq Cohen straight ahead.
Let's see if we can find that holding. I didn't see it on the first replay we had there. They called it on number 5, but maybe they meant number 1. Let's see. You have to let him play football. And Denzel Keys is 6'4", 210 pounds. He has long arms. He has the ability to chicken fight.
Clue pulled down by the short tail sack. Back at the 20-yard line by Keith McAfee. This guy's had some night already. McAfee, another tackle. That's a loss of 7 yards.
Every time Keith goes back to pass, they're going to try and get pressure on the pocket. This is a good job of recognition by McAfee from his linebacker position. See the football, attack the quarterback. Another tackle for loss for the Pirates.
3rd down at 10. Boog out to Cohen. Met and dropped at the 20-yard line. Cambril McGee, no gain, 4th down. Well, the penalty certainly changed this whole possession, Jack.
The penalty then followed up by a sack, because even after the penalty, it was still a short yardage situation, but the freshman has to learn. They call passes. Offensive coordinator's worst nightmare is taking a sack. Get rid of the football the moment you have a chance.
Hampton should get pretty good field position here. Cody Jones punting. Riddick coming all the way up near midfield to receive this punt. And it hit the A&T player, but does go out of bounds. Right or up near midfield. Hit Tony McCray. That's a 30-yard punt for Cody Jones.
Surrounded on 3 ESPNU College Football Primetime. is brought to you by Cabela's. Get to Cabela's for all your hunting, fishing, and camping needs. Cabela's, it's in your nature.
Greensboro 4 statue. Franklin McCain, Joseph McNeil, Jabril Kazan, and David Richmond, the 4 men who inspired sit-in movements across the South and across the nation by sitting at a segregated lunch counter in Woolworths here in Greensboro. The statue unveiled in 2002, February 1960, was the actual event at the Woolworths here in Greensboro. On first down, going deep, and it overthrows Proctor, and it's a string of 4 consecutive completions for Williamson.
North Carolina A&T does not have a lot of weaknesses on the defensive side of the ball, and particularly in the secondary. Every time you see their cornerbacks particularly, I like the way they play, and Tony McCray and Donald Maddox. They're always in great position to make a play on the football. They're not just looking at the wide receiver. They're keeping receiver within their peripheral vision and also keeping an eye on where the ball is being released from.
Williamson goes under center. Looking, being chased by Ragland. And over the head of Washington. Well, the Hampton rushing offense at 119 yards on the season coming in per game average, and they already have exceeded that at 123 tonight.
They're starting to believe, they're starting to buy into the system. You can establish a running game. It's just a matter of time before the passing game will kick in here tonight.
Trips to the right for Williamson. 5 receivers in this set. Third down and 10. Rolling out right, and wide open, and a first down at the 27-yard line. Darius Banks, just his second catch of the season. 17-yard gain.
It's too easy. When they go to 5 wide receivers, North Carolina A&T is not bringing pressure. They're continuing to rush only 4. That's a long time for the defensive secondary to hold their coverage when you're playing the zone concept. If you're playing soft zone behind it, your defensive line can't get pressure. Easy pickings for the quarterback.
On 3rd and 10, pick up 17, and now have a first down. And here's a pitch. And Mixon now running right, but it's well read by the A&T defense. But a horse collar bringing him down brings out the flag on the sideline. Well, Daniel Penix was there to seal him off on the far side of the field, but in the tackle, apparently out the back, and horse collared him down.
Defense number 40, 15-yard penalty for automatic first down.
Well, a face mask on Penix. What brought him down.
This was a reverse pass. Now watching the receiver here with the stalk block to the inside, then break back up. He was open for a split second, but so much penetration by Daniel Penix, not fooled. The secondary bit, they were looking in the backfield. Had he had time to set up and make the throw, wide open receiver in the end zone. Credit the defensive end, Penix, for recognizing the ball was coming his direction and disrupting the play.
The face mask penalty, 3rd penalty against A&T tonight. It's going to give Hampton a first down inside the 15.
Correction. The A&T 15.
Whistle at the snap.
Timeout, Hampton. It's their second charge timeout of the half. It's a 30-second timeout.
I think the play clock was just about to expire, so Hampton uses another timeout. So a 30-second timeout. And 6:25 to play in this first half. While we have a moment, Jay, why don't you give me 5, man?
Historic, give me 5. First, we've got Grambling State, North Carolina A&T on the bubble. A&T's been in the top 5 all season long. Not now. They got to play themselves back into it. Number 5, surprise, Morgan State. First time I've had them there in a long time. Wow. Give credit to Coach Hall. I'm a believer. Number 4, Alabama State, really good football team. They're going to recover after getting beat by Alcorn. Number 3, South Carolina State. After beating North Carolina A&T, we knew somebody had to go, but here's the history. Number 1 is, what? Bethune-Cookman and Alcorn State. You were there with me, Mark. We know Bethune-Cookman's really good. How impressive was Alcorn State?
Very, very impressive, but my world is still a little shaken for you ranking 2 teams number 1 and sharing the top of the power conference, the power poll.
Can't knock off Bethune because all they do is win, but Alcorn won in such impressive fashion.
This is Washington, turns it upfield, inside the 10, inside the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown. 14-yard TD run for Jorian Washington in Hampton. An impressive drive. Great starting field position and turn it into 6 points.
It's going to be a battle. Whatever you can do, I can do better. Tariq Cohen had a highlight reel touchdown. All of a sudden, it's Jorian Washington's turn, getting to the perimeter. Nice, solid blocking up front. Able to capitalize with the touchdown.
3rd rushing touchdown of the season for Washington, and the point after. Anthony Prevost makes it 14-7. Only needed 4 plays to eat up 45 yards. The 14-yard TD run for Washington. 14-7 Hampton.
The college football doubleheader.
Quick strike for Hampton. They lead 14-7. They had a short field beginning at the 45 of A&T on that last drive, and it ended with this Washington 14-yard TD run.
And let's take a look how they set up the zone blocking scheme. First of all, they snuck number 49, Morris Bradford, who's their fullback, to the tight end position. His job, go up to the second level, nobody to block. Everybody else on the offensive line, slide to your right, slide to your right, slide to your right, and allow your running back, Jorian Washington, to stretch the play to the outside, look for a crease, and then see pay dirt on the inside. You see Brailsford with the seal block in the end zone, allowing Washington to go into the end zone almost untouched.
And they're 2 for 2 in the red zone tonight, 2 touchdowns.
So they've got a system in place. Now you start to think that the players are starting to believe in the system, and they're learning how to execute the system.
Lawrence from a couple of yards deep brings it out. Hit hard at the 18-yard line. Well, Saturday on ESPNU, it's College Football Daily, The Edge. Analytics, team trends, player breakdowns, and injury updates. We give you all the information you need to know heading into the weekend in college football. It's The Edge, Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPNU. A couple other important factors on that last touchdown drive for Hampton, Jay. They converted a 3rd and 10, and also the face mask, the personal foul penalty.
Took advantage of it. Good offense will make you pay for some mistakes.
Here's Lawrence. Into the arms of Key, but takes him for a few extra yards for a first down, a gain of 11.
These are the throws that they didn't have implemented last week when they tried to shrink the playbook for Hassan Klug making his first start. These are throws I thought they should have made. Just make nice short throws to Lawrence and Cohen, get them involved in the game, and let them make plays.
Hard running. Going to the 39, tackled by Key and Jordan Hill, and run of 9 for Tariq.
I think when you watch Tariq Cohen and Jorian Washington, they don't realize that they're under 5'8". I mean, they try to finish off runs and they deliver blows to the secondary defenders.
They punish tacklers, don't they?
They do.
Luke going to take off, but quickly wrapped up by Cato Jordan.
And that's a nice, quick decision by Klug. 2nd and 1, nothing there. Just try and get close to the line of scrimmage. And if it's not there, you live to fight another day. Watch this. Take off and run. If you don't see anything you like, take off and run. And guess what? He picked up the first down. All you needed was a yard. Good job. He did not take the sack.
Cohen. It's a nice block. front there. And that is hit hard at the 47-yard line of the Pirates by Hampton strong safety Marcus Wade, but a 14-yard gain.
If you're going to be a hard runner and try and punish defenders, sooner or later somebody's going to drop that hammer on you. Great job by Brendan Cole finishing that off.
The sophomore out of Hampton, Virginia. Bullock. Just a yard or so up to the 45. There's Breon Key, the cornerback, number 6 with the coverage. Clock running, 4:20 to play in this first half. 14-7 Hampton lead. Mixon touchdown catch, a Washington touchdown run for the Pirates. Tariq Cohen has a 68-yard touchdown catch. The A&T score.
I believe that North Carolina A&T has Hampton set up for the double move, a pump and go.
Flew, had to bring it down. Falls forward back near the line of scrimmage, but it appeared like he wanted to go in the direction of Keys here on the near side.
Keys had a clean release, but actually, you see he was looking this way to the right side for his target, Keys, but good pressure by Tyrone Ward and Charles Owens, once again, number 96, coming from the nose tackle position, putting pressure and making him collapse the pocket.
Flew wanting to run this time, and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Tyrone Ward, the tackle. So it is 4th down. So the drive stalls for A&T just on the Hampton side of the 50. The drive was rolling, but their last 3 plays went nowhere. All of them for no gain. Timeout.
Hampton. It's a 30-second timeout.
Timeout with 3:02 left in the half. Let's take a look at the FCS top 10. North Dakota State certainly got a scare over the weekend, Jay, but survived. But the big news for Eastern Washington, how do they survive without their star quarterback?
Yeah, a little bit nervous about Eastern Washington. That 5-1 record, number 2 in FCS. Vernon Adams was a cinch, I believe, for the Peyton Award, having a fantastic junior season. But now we have to see. Coastal Carolina's been playing strong all season long, as well as McNeese. Take a look. One of the questions is which conference is showing some dominance there in the top 10. Pretty well balanced. However, you see the 2 teams from the CAA in Villanova and New Hampshire right there. And if we went a little bit further, we'd see Maine on the list as well. So the CAA starting to flex their muscle this time of year.
Hampton looking to get the football back with his Cody Jones punt and a short one that he'll try to bounce. Grabbed at the 18-yard line by Riddick. And right there was Kevin Francis on special teams for A&T. Now Klug and the A&T offense stalled. And Hampton has another chance with 2:54 left in the half.
In the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, each game is a lesson.
Win or lose, it's a chance to learn something.
About our team, about ourselves, and about commitment to sportsmanship.
Because being a good sport is more than winning with pride.
More than losing with dignity.
It's remembering that there's life beyond the locker room.
Outside of the classroom.
And how we handle adversity right now determines how we'll handle it for the rest of our lives.
The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, where good sportsmanship is the only way to play.
Brendan, thanks very much. Just 2:54 left in this first half from Greensboro. And here's the HBCU coaches poll top 10. Well, the 2 teams that shared the top spot in Jay's HBCU Power Poll are the top 2 teams in this poll.
You know, footnote, the 2 teams that are ranked in the FCS top 25, Bethune-Cookman and Alcorn State finally broke the top 25 in the national poll.
Williamson throws, and he finds an open Mixon for a first down to the 27-yard line, brought down by Zarius Lockhart, a 13-yard pickup. Hampton with no timeouts remaining, but plenty of time on the clock. And that one, nice run up the sideline by Washington. out by Marquise Boyan. This drive suddenly showing a lot of promise for the Pirates, a 24-yard gain.
Setting up the screen pattern. We saw North Carolina A&T get Tariq Cohen involved in the passing game. Hampton taking a page from them. Let's get Jorian Washington involved in our passing game. Two dynamic playmakers that are putting it on full display here. Thursday Night Football live.
They have a first down at the 49 of A&T, but again, they don't have any timeouts left. Clock down to 2:15 to go, and here's the pitch and the run by Carter. And Carter, the true freshman, still going, and he's across the 30, inside the 30-yard line for another Hampton first down. How about the running from the freshman, Eric Carter?
Great job getting an opportunity. He comes in, he's the largest back on the roster at 215 pounds. When he's able to get those shoulder pads going north and south, keeps his legs turning over, difficult to bring down.
And a 20-yard gain, first down at the 29 of A&T. This time he stopped. Ran right into big number 50, Angelo Keys, the 265-pound defensive end.
Normally you would think from where the Pirates have the ball on the football field right now, if you pick up another 8 to 10 yards, you'd be in field goal range. Not for the Pirates this year. Their longest field goal of the season, 29 yards.
Last play lost 3. It ends a string. They had run 5 consecutive plays, all for first downs prior to that. And now Williamson having to scramble and just trying to get rid of it, but coming back to the ball, Gooding, and it's incomplete at the 25. And Williamson covered a lot of ground. Just trying to get rid of this football.
North Carolina A&T trying to run a stunt with their defensive line. They almost get to the quarterback. If you're almost going to get to the quarterback, bad things can happen. Very fortunate the ball was caught out of bounds. Give credit to Williamson, the quarterback, showing mobility and nifty moves in the pocket.
As the 8-yard touchdown throw to Mixon. 3rd and 13. 2:06 on third down tonight. Williamson, receiver, somehow caught the ball with a defender right on his back, and it was taken away. Eric Carter was the receiver, running back.
Look at this individual effort by your D tackle. You're going to see here he's going to do a fantastic job of sniffing out this play here. It's James Morris. They're trying to run a screen. He's looking. I'm wide open. Uh-oh, they didn't block me. They're up to something. Great recognition by James Morris, completely stopping that play by individual effort.
As soon as Carter caught that football, Jay, he had a 300-pounder Morris on his back.
That was good defense. And good job of learning that football one-on-one. If they're not blocking you, they're setting you up.
And Jay mentioned a 29-yard field goal, their longest, so they're going forward on 4th down, and it's intercepted at the goal line by Donald Maddox, his 6th interception of the season to lead the conference. That's the first turnover of the game for either team. This pass was way over the head of Riddick, who was the closest Hampton receiver in the vicinity.
But look at the eyes of all the defensive backs for North Carolina A&T in the backfield, recognizing where they are on the football field. And when the ball's thrown, very aggressive. And Maddox, he's a good one. 6 INTs, that ties him for the nation's lead.
So there's 19 seconds left in this first half, and A&T will take over at the 20 with 1 timeout. We're probably happy to just eat this clock and head to the locker room and try to regroup a bit. Hampton's picked up a couple of scores in the red zone, leading by a touchdown, and really been taking a knee, and that's going to take us to the end of the first half. Mixon touchdown catch and a Washington touchdown run for Hampton, and Tariq Cohen has a 68-yard touchdown catch for the A&T score. Pretty good homecoming so far, Jay, for Connell Maynor.
Many people thought A&T would run away with this one. Not so fast. Hampton football starting to play their best football during the Connell Maynard era.
Here at the break, Hampton leading A&T 14-7. Now let's send it to the studio with the college football halftime report with Brendan Fitzgerald and Charles Arbuckle. Guys.
All right, thanks. So Hampton with a 14-7 halftime lead. You have Hampton looking for their first conference win of the season. Charles, out to a good start. Always good when you can go on the road, get a lead.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Jalen Williamson is playing well, 1 touchdown. So whenever you can go on the road and take care of things, now you have to hold on in the second half.
Especially on the road at night, always a tougher situation. Meanwhile, we go to the SEC, a developing...
Yeah, Brendan, thanks very much. Back here in Greensboro, where Hampton is leading A&T 14-7 at the break. And time for the HBCU breakdown, Jay.
The band is breaking it down right now, too. They're getting busy here.
You can hear them. They are breaking it down. There's going to be a big showdown in the SWAC this weekend.
It is. Alcorn State taking on Grambling State, the 2 undefeated teams in conference play in the SWAC. There's going to be a lot riding on the line. Head coach Jay Hobson had made the reservation a very tough place to play football, but give credit. What is that? That's Broderick Fowle, first-year head coach of Grambling. He's got the G-men back to respectability, but respectability doesn't seem to be enough. The G-men host the Braves at home. It's going to be a SWAC showdown with championship implications on the line.
There are so many good running backs in HBCU football. Give me 4 of the best.
I think this is a special year for running backs in HBCU football. They're not only 4 of the best in HBCU football, but 4 of the best in the country. Herb Walker coming off a 200-yard performance a week ago. He's fantastic. We've seen Tariq Cohen here on display for North Carolina A&T. Malcolm Cyrus is the key to Alabama State, the success they're having. And I don't know if there's a more athletic or dynamic running back than Darian Ragsdale for Alcorn. He's the reason why the Braves are off to a fantastic start. Truly a special talent.
Yeah, Alcorn State has been one of the surprise teams to the upside at HBCU football. But how about some of the teams on the opposite end of the ladder? They're the disappointing teams.
I think we featured the running backs because it's been a down year for the quarterbacks. And teams that had pretty good quarterbacks with high expectations, they have not met expectations. Florida A&M, 0-5. Damian Fleming is one of the best passers in the MEAC. Talk about Howard University, my alma mater. They're 1-5, and they're taking on Bethune-Cookman, looking 1-6 dead in the eye if they don't get their act together. And Prairie View A&M, led by quarterback Jerry Lovelock, they had championship expectations at 2 of these schools, and Florida A&M being 0-5, that's the story right now. The disappointing season thus far.
That's our HBCU breakdown, and maybe a Hampton team here trying to surprise on the road tonight. Guys, let's send it to you back in the studio, Brendan.
All right.
ESPNU College Football Primetime presented by McDonald's. We're about ready to start the second half in Greensboro, and Hampton leading North Carolina A&T by a score of 14-7. Look at our first half highlights. The game scoreless late in the first quarter. On 4th and 4, a fake punt. Christian Faber-Kinney runs for 32 yards, sets up the first and goal, and TJ Mix, an 8-yard touchdown catch from Jalen Williamson, made it 7-0. After the A&T, Tariq Cohen, 68-yard touchdown tied it. There was Jorian Washington's 15-yard TD run and gives them a 14-7 lead for Hampton here at the half. North Carolina A&T only converted 1 third down in that first half. Hampton late in the half, the interception committed the only turnover.
Yeah, 1 third down conversion and only 7 first downs in the first half compared to Hampton with 13. The Pirates have done a pretty good job of moving the ball down the field versus the Aggie defense.
See, 158 total yards for North Carolina A&T, 124 of those from Cohen. Do they need to develop a second weapon, Jay?
I think so, and I think, use Cohen as a decoy every now and then. The defense is focused on him when he's on the field. Use him as a decoy and allow some other playmakers to make plays.
McCray from the 4 across the 20, but a flag's laying back at the 15. A good portion of the flags we've seen this year have come on special teams on kick returns.
Yep, and for North Carolina A&T.
Doing the return, illegal block in the back. Number 16, the return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
One thing I've noticed about A&T, they are not sound on special teams. They're going to call that all day. You're right in front of the official. You cannot push somebody in the back, and that's an area of concern for North Carolina A&T. Has not been solid, particularly the last 2 weeks of the season.
So their starting field position for this drive will be at their own 8-yard line. Give it to Cohen. Rambles for a couple of yards to the 10. 9th carry now for Cohen, who has 45 yards rushing. He did have the 68-yard touchdown catch and 81 yards receiving in that first half.
Since Hassan Klug has taken over as quarterback, we are yet to see North Carolina A&T have a solid drive down the field that results in a touchdown.
Delay to Cohen. Fights his way forward to the 16 or 17-yard line. Well, here's Tariq Cohen. This is a 68-yard touchdown catch and run.
Good blocking on the perimeter. You give an outstanding runner like Cohen in a foot race, home run hitter's going to figure out a way to cross home plate. Only offensive spark for North Carolina A&T in the past 2 weeks of football.
So they face a third down and short, third and a long one. Give it right back to the dependable Cohen, and guess what? First down. Well, close, but I'm giving it to him, and he's got it.
When we talked about the offense has been stalling as of late, since Quayshawn Quick went down in the second half of the game versus Howard, this Aggie offense is just falling like it's had 4 flat tires instead of just 1 flat tire. And tonight, I think the game plan was better. Klug was not such a major factor, and they found creative ways to move the ball on occasion.
Klug throws a strike to the 25, and the completed pass to the 28-yard line for Kevin Francis, the tight end.
Francis is a specimen, 6'5", 207 pounds, and can run like a deer. Hey, look at this. I mean, North Carolina A&T, they were on cruise control. They were scoring points in bunches. And considering they got shut out last week, their season average is still over 31 points a game.
Cohen gets dropped to the 29-yard line. And just a yard or so. Because this drive began inside their own 10-yard line. Up now to their own 29. They've had a battle just to get that far, Jay.
They have, and Hampton's going to play smart. They'll say, we think the freshman quarterback's going to make a mistake, soft zone coverage, keeping everything in front of him, and come up and make solid tackles.
Lawrence to the 35, 36-yard line. He almost dropped that pass. Was able to corral it and run for positive yardage. We're being run out. Chaka Diarasua.
One thing about Desmond Lawrence, it does not take him long to get from 0 to 60.
Yeah, he's one of their track and field guys as well for A&T. Speedster. This is Bullock. Wrapped up immediately after the catch by Miles Morris. Morris, who began his collegiate career at Georgia State, transferring into Hampton. After that first down, they're going to Cohen a little breather. Well, Cartwright now into the backfield for the Aggies. First down at their own 39. And the flag comes out as wrecked up at the 38. Sort out the flag. It's a hold. Well, the positive for Klug right now, Jay, is he hasn't actually converted. He's hit on his last 8 pass attempts.
Holding. Offense, number 77. That penalty is declined. Second down.
They declined the holding on the right tackle, Wes Cole.
That's interesting why he declined that. I understand you had a tackle for loss and they didn't gain anything on first down, but I still like to put a quarterback back in 1st and 20 compared to 2nd and 11.
Klug, the pocket collapsing, he takes off. He's dropped back at the 38-yard line. No gain, got back to the line of scrimmage. Keith McAfee catching up to him along with Cato Jordan, but a flag is out again.
See the pocket just collapsing. Indecisive where to go with the football. Can't outrun a whole defense. I
mentioned McAfee as part of that tackle. McAfee in the first half, 7 tackles, had a sack and 2.5 tackles for loss. Referee Darrell Davis.
Holding. Defense, number 6. 10-yard penalty added to the end of the run. It is not an automatic first down because no pass was thrown.
Nice explanation there from Darrell Davis. The hold on the cornerback, Breon Key. So had Klug put the ball in the air, the cornerback, his holding penalty would have been an automatic first down. Kind of an odd drive to start this half for A&T, Jay, but continues to slowly progress and gets a few more yards there. Cartwright actually with a nice first down to the 46 of Hampton, tackled by Joshua Thorne.
Nice call. Use Desmond Lawrence as a decoy. When he goes across the formation, the defense is going to draw to Lawrence naturally. They fake the jet sweep to the right, come back with an underneath handoff to Marquell Cartwright to pick up the first down.
Bullock and Lawrence, the receivers at the top of the screen. First down from the 47 of the Pirates. Klug looking to throw on first down, and he's off target for Keys.
They had him too.
That little John between Miles Morris, the quarterback, and Keys there.
They dared him to throw the football, and North Carolina A&T had perfect pass protection. One-on-one down at the bottom, and watch the clean release you're going to see from Keys. Come inside, throw it over the top. Instead, he led him this way where the defensive back was waiting for him. This is what you want. Clean release, throw it over the top. He comes back underneath and almost allowed the defender to come back into play.
Klug across the middle to the 40-yard line. Denzel Keys. Bullock with the catch. 7-yard gain for Bullock and a 3rd and 3. 210 on the season average per game, second in the conference, but 78 so far tonight. Cohen adds a few more to that and is close to the first down at the 37-yard line. Another tackle for Keith McAfee, the middle linebacker for Hampton. That's a first down for A&T. It's kind of been a drive of fits and starts here, Jay, but they're moving down the football field, and the 14th play of the drive coming up here. Here goes Cohen, running left. Down at the 33 for a gain of 3. Again, Keith McAfee with another tackle, along with number 6, Breon Key. It's Cato Jordan, defensive end, who's slow to get up for Hampton. Jordan, who is a freshman from Columbia, South Carolina, out of Ridgeview High School, 6'4", 230-pound freshman.
That's tough. We talked about the transition from the 3-4 defense to the 4-3 defense, which is more defensive linemen. They don't have a lot of depth at the defensive line position. Keep an eye and hope that he can return to this football game.
First possession of the half here, Jay. How important for A&T to put up points? Does it have to be a touchdown? Any points?
No, I think any points will do, because this is a defense that feels like they can have a turnover and score points for you as well. But anytime you're just down by 7, that really puts pressure on your offense, and you like to see that you have the potential to shrink the lead in the margins.
Cody Jones, their field goal kicker for A&T, his long this year has been 40 yards. So if this game, Jay, did come down to who can kick a 35, 40-yard field goal to win the game, you know, that's favor A&T.
Clearly favors North Carolina A&T, and Hampton, you have the feeling that they're at that position where if it's 4th and less than 5, they're going to go for it rather than go for a field goal attempt. Not a lot of confidence in the kicking game right now for the Pirates.
Here's the sophomore Cody Jones. Well, good to see Jordan get to his feet. Let's take a look at that last play and see what happened.
Doing the read option, running down the line of scrimmage.
See 93 coming in there, and he just kind of landed on his own guy and might have taken a hit to the ribs. tough to tell, but whatever it did, hopefully just knocked the wind out of him, but he was down for a while. This drive began at their own 8-yard line.
Ruski did not work.
And now it is on the ground, and it is recovered by A&T. Tariq Cohen able to jump on it, but Miles Grooms punched it out. And A&T's very fortunate they didn't turn it over here.
A modern version of the fumble Ruski, and this one actually has the fumble. Tariq Cohen not fooled at all. Good job by Miles Grooms of stripping the ball from Cohen. High risk, high reward play in that case there. A&T has to pay for it.
So a gadget play backfires, a 3rd and 17.
I'm pretty sure it's a challenge. See if he was down.
A fumble recovered by A&T. The play is under further review.
So the booth's going to take another look at it, and we will as well. You don't see this play every week, Jay.
No. Kluge's going to run, and you see Tariq Cohen has his hands. Give me the football, trying to hide and stay low. But Grooms was not fooled. Now, is the knee down? It's not down.
Oh, yeah, he may be down before it's stripped. Yeah, that right knee.
Well, it comes down. Are you certain? I'm to the point, like, are you 100% positive that the knee was down before he was in the act of fumbling the football?
Again, the call on the field was fumble, so there has to be enough video evidence to overturn this. And really what we're talking about here is field position, Jay, because they recovered their own fumble. So you're looking at a difference of, what, 5 or 6 yards? Maybe about 8 yards. If they rule that the knee was down, that would actually improve A&T's field position by about 8 yards. And take the fumble away. So it'd be a 3rd and 9 instead of a 3rd and 17 from this spot if they overturn it. Take another peek, Jay. Tell me if you see enough evidence to overturn this and just make him down right at this spot.
When I first saw the replay, I thought he was down. And then when you look at it again, see, it seems like he's down. He's still holding on to the football. And then as he's swinging, it looks as if Grooms is able to really push that ball out.
After further review, the runner was down prior to fumbling the ball. The ball will be returned to the 37-yard line.
So for A&T, that does help turn that 3rd and long into 3rd and 10 instead of a 3rd and 17 or thereabouts. But Rod Broadway's Aggies are still going to have to convert 3rd and long here with clock running, 8:45 to go in this 3rd quarter. This is the first possession of the half. A&T beginning this drive inside the 110. Luke puts it in the air to the near side for Keys, and the jump ball. He won it. He caught it. Steps out with a first down at the 10. Miles Morris, who's 5'9", had the coverage on the 6'4" Keys. It's a 27-yard pickup and an A&T first down.
We've highlighted that matchup several times. And good job just allowing the larger Keys to make a play for you. When he caught the ball, he got one leg in. That's all you need in college football is 1 foot.
It's Cartwright with the carry.
This drive hasn't been the typical drive, has it? They've gone forward, they've moved back, they've gone forward.
Tried a gimmick play that almost completely backfired.
Nice in the red zone. They make the switch. They go to the taller DB than Breon Key, who's 6'2", number 6 at the bottom of your screen, guard Keys in the red zone.
Going in that direction, though. He and Keys are all tied up and off the fingertips and a late flag.
Keys played well, but the ball was in the air, and he was still extending his hands towards Keys.
Pass interference, defense, number 6. Because the foul occurred in the end zone, by rule, the ball will automatic first down.
2, so it's 1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
But this was good defense. They were just too big players on the perimeter going after it. Each of them has a jersey on each other, but the ball's in the air, and he's got that jersey clearly held. Good call by the official.
A&T in the red zone this year, 81% clip. They've scored 18th play and towards the goal line and in, touchdown. Marquel Cartwright with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and A&T an extra point away from tying it up. Good block by the tight end Daquan Swan, number 87, to get him to the goal line.
Good job pulling the tackle and pulling Swan, the tight end, as well. Cartwright, great job setting up his blockers, able to get into the end zone for the score.
Jones for the tie out of the hold of Quayshawn Quick, who's not playing with that left knee injury, not playing quarterback, but does hold on special teams. And the Cartwright touchdown caps off an 18-play drive that went 92 yards. Cartwright touchdown. 14 all here in Greensboro.
The college football doubleheader begins.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Tonight's Bringing the Flavor brought to you by McDonald's. We've got a good football game going on here in the MEAC tonight from Greensboro, North Carolina. 14 all, Hampton and North Carolina A&T. An 18-play drive for the A&T offense to begin the second half, culminating in the Cartwright touchdown run.
Great job if they could finish the drive off and, more importantly, build confidence in their freshman quarterback, Hassan Klug.
Cody Jones to kick off for the Aggies with Jorian Washington and Darius Banks back deep for the Pirates.
Jorian Washington and Darius Banks back deep to receive the kick for the Pirates.
Banks. Yanked down at the 20. By Tyree Purcell. Look at the Hampton drive chart. Punted their first 2 possessions before the touchdown on the 11-play drive. Gave them the lead early in the second quarter. Then punt, TD, and the INT very late in the second half, right before halftime. And they're receiving the football for the first time in the second half, and we're midway through the third quarter.
Textbook drive by North Carolina A&T. Now putting a little bit of pressure back on the Pirate offense led by Jalen Williamson.
He's under center. We'll hand it off to Washington. No gain, or maybe a half yard, pulled down by Angelo Keys, the defensive end.
Keep in mind what we saw from North Carolina A&T. They came out of the locker room. They found a couple players to complement Tariq Cohen, particularly Denzel Keys, and we saw Cartwright as well. For Hampton, who's going to be that complementary player for Jorian Washington?
I did mention Angelo Keys, who is Denzel's brother. Williamson throws and has a man open at the 40-yard line with Sean Proctor. First down, Pirates.
And that's who they needed to step up. That's the impact player. He has a knack for getting open. In this case, he comes across the formation. Good recognition by Williamson. Proctor goes down to make the first down catch.
20-yard gain, first down from their own 40. Williamson gives to Washington, but he's hit in the backfield by Marquise Ragland for no gain.
Washington on the carry. No gain on the play.
Marquise Ragland, who's a redshirt sophomore out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, talking with Rod Broadway this week. He mentioned to Ragland that he has really improved as a player. And they move in a free play here for Hampton. First catch for Gooding right near midfield.
Williamson's pass is complete.
It's a good job of playing the quarterback position by Williamson.
Offside. Defense, number 55, in the neutral zone at the snap. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
I say it's a good quarterback because so often we see the quarterback get the defensive lineman offsides, and the first thing they want to do, oh, I have to go deep, I have to go deep. He just took his normal drop, delivered a strike, and got the first down 10 yards further down the field. Good game management by Williamson.
Pitches to Washington, and he's going to be tackled for a loss back at the 47 of the Pirates by Daniel Penix, number 40.
He stopped in his backfield.
He was a former walk-on. And now one of the top pass rushers in the MEAC.
Second and long.
Led A&T last year with 10 sacks. Came in tonight with 3. Loss of 4, second and 14.
They're going to reset the 25-second clock. In the first half, when Hampton came out in this formation, they always saw zone coverage in the back. A&T did not bring an extra rusher.
Quickly out to Mixon. They get a block on the edge. Gains close to 3. And some more pushing and shoving after the play. Mixon, who has a touchdown catch tonight. Won't see any flags, but some of the A&T coaches trying to come out and settle down their defense, including Rod Broadway. Officials trying to keep control here, Jay. Is a lot of extra pushing and shoving on that last play.
Yeah, I see 2 programs that don't want to go to 0-2 in conference play, so there's a sense of urgency to win this football game, and both teams have a chance.
Flag pre-snap.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, second down.
3rd and 8 becomes a 3rd and 15. 3rd and 13. That's the top of the screen. Yep.
Good flinch.
It's Wes.
Each time they show this formation, A&T has shown that they were going to bring pressure. Now a little bit further back, do they still decide to bring the pressure, or do they play soft zone? I would attack the quarterback.
Officially 3rd and 12, and Williamson does have plenty of time, and now going to pull it down and run with it to the 42-yard line.
Williamson on the keeper.
His receiver Gooding trying to
ball down to the A&T 41.
lay a block late in that run and almost blocked in the back, but it's a 10-yard run.
Yeah, just take a look at the number of rushers they're going to bring. They're bringing a 3-man rush. They do a good job of protecting the pocket. And now take a look at all the room that he has in front of him to try and make a play, make somebody miss, and get close to the first down marker.
Game a few yards short, so 4th and 2, and Hampton going to go for it.
And then they get this look. They're yet to bring pressure.
2 and 2 on 4th down tonight, and I don't know. I don't think so. Marquise Ragland, number 99, with the initial push from the A&T defense, and they stopped him.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. You know, when you go with the 5 wide receiver set, A&T does not like to bring pressure. I thought you could have had the quarterback drop back and he could have rushed for 2 yards. Well, they made the decision, but good stop by the Aggie defense. The folks here in Greensboro made their first Aggie pride chant. We're tied.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
That's the Dudley Building here on the A&T campus, which houses the Art Museum. It's dedicated to the ancestral and contemporary arts of Africa and the Caribbean. We have 3:16 to play, third quarter, tied at 14. A&T takes over after Hampton turned it over on downs, and Cohen running right, cuts it back, has a hole. Midfield, 40, 35. He's headed to the house. One man to beat, Cohen's gone. 60-yard run, and A&T leads for the first time tonight.
Edge of your seat running. That's what he has the ability to do. Watch the fullback, Anthony McKinn, number 36, seal the edge. And look at him make two defenders miss with a cut move to the inside. Good old-fashioned juke move, X button on your joystick. He's going to finish off that run. Tariq Cohen special. We've said it all along, and get to know him. He's just a sophomore. He's going to be around here for quite some time.
Second touchdown tonight for Tariq Cohen. The point after Cody Jones, and that went wide right. With 13 unanswered points for A&T in their first lead of the game after the 60-yard run for Tariq Cohen. The Aggie pride starting to show itself now here in Greensboro with 3:04 to play in the third quarter. 2014, A&T leading. That is Spencer Gwynn, who's the North Carolina A&T radio announcer. He'll be retiring after this season ends after 50 years as the Aggies play-by-play man.
Yeah, we got you, Spencer.
Pitch just coming around the right side. It goes to, he's at the 40, he's at the 30, 20. Nobody's going to catch this baby. 10, 5, touchdown for Tariq Cohen, and North Carolina A&T State University has taken the lead.
Well, there from Spencer Gwynn, the 50-year radio announcer for North Carolina A&T, and you're watching him work live.
The hole was fumbled.
Booth next to ours here at Aggie Stadium.
Those extra points are vital, especially in a contest like this.
Let's talk about the extra points and special teams, and he realized it, but see, that was the old school call. Nobody's going to catch that baby. Get him, sucker. Spencer, I had a chance to talk to him before the game, as I always do, and as I always have to mention, I said, what was your most memorable game you've called? You think you'd have somebody from Howard University involved? And he said, don't start, Jay.
Gooding, one of the up in on a short kickoff up to the 36. Again, he's retiring after this year. A look at Spencer Gwynn through the years as the North Carolina A&T broadcaster.
Get him, sucker!
Started in 1963. Think about that. He was here calling football games when John F. Kennedy was president.
He's seen some good ones. He hasn't missed one season since '83.
Marquise Bowen on the tackle.
They're going to miss him. Congratulations, and enjoy retirement. Thanks for all the hard work you've given to North Carolina A&T and HBCU football as well.
Total yards dominated by A&T here in this second half. There's a run for Washington, tackled by Maddox at the 44. But think about the two possessions for A&T in this second half. An 18-play drive that resulted in a touchdown. One of the longer drives you'll see, and then as short as it can be, a one-play 60-yard run to add a second touchdown in this half.
And if the trends continue, every time Tariq Cohen does something special, Washington comes back and does something special for Hampton.
Here is Washington pushing the pile. He has a first down all the way up to the 49-yard line. Gain of 5. Well, Saturday on ESPN, SEC doubleheader, first at 6 in college football primetime, presented by Hampton Hotels. 7th-ranked Alabama looks to rebound against Arkansas as the SEC West race heats up. And then at 9, huge win, Bo Wallace and number 3 Ole Miss. They face another tough test against the 14th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies. Both games also live on Watch ESPN. That SEC West doesn't get any rougher than that, huh? It is talented and deep. And here's Williamson looking to go deep, perhaps. Flag comes out, and he just gets rid of the football, but had so much time that eventually there may have been a hold there. Ronald Rose, the right tackle.
Holding. Offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Take a look. The quarterback is scrambling. You see right there, that's a little bit of a spin around, do-si-do with your partner. Turn them around 360 degrees. That's one there where when the quarterback leaves the pocket, the defense becomes an advantage, the defensive lineman, because he can see the quarterback where the offensive lineman has to react.
Ball play. Washington has to fight all the way up to the 45, close to the 45. Bryn Suttles and Malik Hampton Prelo bringing him down for A&T.
Still so surprised that North Carolina A&T has not been able to get any pressure on Williamson in the pocket. They continue to go with the four-man rush, which really does put a lot of pressure on your defensive secondary with the quarterback having that much time.
Washington again, but nowhere to go. He's retreating and tackled for a loss back at the 35 by Devontae Grant. A loss of 8.
They fooled him several times, but they're trying to do a sprint draw package, and it's not going to work. They're trying to do misdirection, but good job of just watching the play and going with the flow. Sprint draw is coming back to you. You see Grant there in the hole, sees him in his eyesight. Devontae Grant's an all Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference linebacker, in case you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jory in Washington. Be careful who you pick your battles with.
Led A&T in tackles the last 3 years and may do so again this year. Fifth-year senior, the pass to midfield short, underthrowing Banks. Penix with the heat and the pressure on the quarterback, Williamson. 4th down. A&T trailed at the half 14-7, but they've scored TDs on both of their offensive possessions. About to get the football back again. And that A&T defense has been stout in the second half against Hampton. Faber Kenny's punt. Bullock, a fair catch at the 25. 39-yard punt for Christian Faber Kenny with no return.
25.
College football Saturday on ESPNU at 3:30 Eastern. Louisville looks for a win on the road against
Carolina. Ruffin McNeil's squad. He's a defensive coordinator, but he's opened up this offense. Look at what they've been able to accomplish.
Converting 50% of their third downs. This Pirate defense having a hard time tackling Cohen in this second half. To the 32. Cole and McAfee do bring him down. 8 of 6.
That'll be the last play of the third quarter.
They're going to let the time elapse here in this third quarter. Tariq Cohen has a couple of touchdowns tonight. The first, a 68-yard touchdown catch and run. And then Cohen with a 60-yard TD run. 2014 A&T at the end of
3. Ole Miss, Texas A&M.
Out of Air Force, they beat Navy last week, and Boise State the week before that. Utah State's coming off an impressive win in Provo over BYU, the first time they won there in almost 2 decades. As we're ready to begin the fourth quarter, teams were at the line of scrimmage, and then timeout call.
And something I noticed, rarely do we do a game where in the first half they use 5 timeouts in the first half. Now, you can get away with that in the first half, but in the second half, you want to keep those timeouts to the very end because you never know when you're going to need them.
Hampton led 14-7 at the half. A&T with a couple of touchdowns here in the second half, though missed the extra point on the last one. They take over here on their own 32-yard line, reverse it with Lawrence, cutting it back to the 40, 45, and now he may go! The track star with his speed is gone. 68-yard run for Desmond Lawrence. His third touchdown of the year, and the Aggies now feeling it offensively.
The star power is showing up. I talked about Desmond Lawrence earlier. From 0 to 60, he's great. But here's what I like. Watch this. One play. Makes a cut, turns on his jets. It's a foot race, and you know he's going to win that foot race every time.
So A&T, after only scoring on one of their 6 possessions, actually 5 possessions in the first half, have touchdowns on all 3 possessions here in the second half. And having missed the extra point on the last touchdown, are now going to go for 2. Blue into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Daquan Swan, the tight end, with the catch, and it's 28-14. Well, they have touchdowns tonight of 60 and 2 of 68 yards for A&T, who now lead by 14 early in the 4th.
Training staff says it's
North Carolina A&T has 3 plays, 3 scores. North Carolina A&T has 3 plays, 3 scoring plays tonight of 60 or more yards, 60, 68, and 68. Aggie fans, Jay, are saying, hey, where was that last week in Atlanta against South Carolina State?
They needed it versus South Carolina State, but that's what happens when you have home run hitters on offense. You don't expect your home run hitter to bat 400. You expect them to bat 250 and then hit home runs. The North Carolina A&T explosive big players are on display here this evening.
Their last 3 plays have gone for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, all of them running plays. And shut out 13-0 last week in Atlanta in the Atlanta Football Classic by South Carolina State. First time they've been shut out in about 2 years. They were shut out by Delaware State back in 2012. And their offense has really come alive here in this second half. Washington from the goal line. Moves his way to the 21-yard line. Tackled by McCoy. You mentioned at the top players to watch. Desmond Lawrence. He's been worth it.
One of the fastest football players playing in college football on any level. Track champion. And he's the guy that can really be that game breaker, the threat of his speed. And he was the impact player because they needed some people to come and take the load off of their freshman quarterback and also take the load off of Tariq Cohen. And Desmond Lawrence responded in a big way for the Aggies.
Lawrence, a member of the 4x100 relay team that won the conference championship. Run for TJ Mixon. Pushed out around the 30-yard line. Mixon has a touchdown catch. In fact, an 8-yard TD he scored, opened up the scoring late in the first quarter.
That seems like an eternity ago, doesn't it?
It does.
Hampton goes into the locker room with a 7-point lead, and if you blink, you missed it. A&T scored 21 points in a hurry.
On 2nd and 1, Williamson looks like he wanted to throw, but then is sacked back at the 29-yard line. Anthony Ross.
I don't think you can abandon your game plan right now if you're Hampton. You're not going to win if you're trying to test the secondary of North Carolina A&T. They're dangerous. If you can come out and throw the football a bunch of times, they're going to intercept one of them. They've proven that they're that good. I think you still have to try and get the ball to Washington. You're running back underneath, and Rashad Proctor on some crossing routes underneath the zone coverage for North Carolina A&T.
Williamson sacked again, back at the 20. Devontae Graham. Grant with the sack. And it's 4th down.
And this can't happen. I mean, this can't happen. You cannot allow a linebacker to have a straight line to your quarterback. I mean, he's not hiding it. There's no sideways lateral movement. I mean, he's coming right up the gut. Somebody has to account for him in that blocking scheme.
Back-to-back sacks, first 2 of the game allowed by the Hampton offense. Christian Faber-Kinney's punt is short. It's going to be down right around midfield.
Ball is down at the Pirate 49.
College football Saturday on ESPNU begins at noon Eastern time. In the Big Ten, Iowa hosts Indiana, and then at 10:15, all wraps up in the Mountain West Conference. College football presented by 5 Hour Energy, Air Force at Utah State. Both games also live on Watch ESPN. Well, the college football playoff, Jay, who do you have in right now?
Well, Auburn, Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's a question mark right now, but I think they get in if you had to take it right now today. Mississippi State, Florida State, but Mississippi State, that could easily be swapped out for Ole Miss depending on what happens the rest of the season. But as of today, I think people really aren't giving credit to Notre Dame and what they've done. They beat the Stanford squad. Now, yes, that loss doesn't really look as good now because Stanford's lost 2 games, but I mean, and people forget about what they did to Michigan.
Offense, number 77, 10 from the line of scrimmage, first down.
They blanked Michigan in the Big House, so I don't care what team you're talking about to go on the road and do that. So I think right now mine would be Notre Dame in that spot, but very early, and it's going to be a work in progress. Anybody on my list you would take off, Mark Neal?
I can't really argue at this point.
Well, you like to throw football, probably like Baylor.
Lawrence, where's he going this time? Reverses field, gets a block from Klug, then stumbles and falls. The turf made the tackle at the 34 and winds up losing a sizable chunk of yardage. Charles Owens will get credit for the tackle. 2nd and 27 after that.
Now,
losing 17.
I have a 14-point lead. I'm at home. Freshman quarterback. Got a team on the ropes.
Don't pull that out.
I'm calling Tariq Cohen's number twice right now. I'm not even thinking about the first down. I'm going to get the ball to Tariq Cohen. I'm going to throw the ball somewhere underneath. Very conservative play call. I like it. It's okay. See, they just want to pump the ball away. You don't want your freshman to turn over the football. It's 3rd down. Same type of play. This is, you get the feeling that Ricky Buster's not calling the play right now. That's Rod Broadway, head coach. Run the football. Don't take a chance with it. We tried the quick play, didn't work.
Cohen, positive yardage that time for about 2 before he's tackled by defensive end Miles Grooms.
Miles Grooms.
So for the first time in this second half, the A&T offense comes up empty. They had 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, their first 3 possessions of the second half.
I think you're at the point in the game where if you're Hampton on special teams, you have to go for the block, punt.
And here they come, but Jones punt. Going to be down about the 20-yard line. 43-yard punt with no return. We're headed to break. On the other side of the break, we'll check in with the studio for an update.
I love coming into Bass Pro Shops. It's great brands from Coleman and North Face to Redhead and Ascend.
Bass Pro Shops is the place for huge savings, like select men's crews and Henleys for only $10 each, and this new Masterbuilt electric smoker for under $180.
Sure. Brendan, thanks. Back here in Greensboro on a pleasant night in October in North Carolina. North Carolina A&T has scored 21 unanswered points here in the second half and lead it by 14 in this MEAC showdown. Glad to have you with us tonight, along with former NFL quarterback Jay Walker. I'm Mark Neely. Total yards in this second half. Wow. Decided advantage for A&T. Hampton will try to cut into that here. They take over at their own 21-yard line. Williamson throws out of a crowd and almost picked off by Devontae Grant, who came in right as the time the football found the receiver. Angelo Keys was pressuring Williamson.
Take a look at Grant. Right side of your screen, going to drop into formation. Once the ball leaves his hands, he's going for the football. They really do a great job of recognizing where the quarterback is, looking in the backfield, and breaking on the football once it leaves the quarterback's hand.
across the middle and wide open to Mixon. Landis Schaffner saved more yardage, but that still goes for 31, and it's a first down at the 49 of A&T.
That's the play they wanted earlier. Right down the seam, get rid of the ball quickly, throw it to Mixon in stride. We saw Connell Maynard earlier talking to Williamson about throwing the ball earlier. He was animated because that's something that they saw in their game plan.
Williamson rolling out right, going for Gooding, incomplete. Gooding trying to walk the tightrope there at the 38, unable to bring it in. (14 of 24 tonight, 160 yards. Williamson came in averaging 252 yards per game of passing and a 65% completion percentage. Williamson finds his man for another first down. Saquon Gooding. Actually, that time Harville. Ricard Harville with his first catch, 17-yard gain.
See Williamson, good job with the recognition, throwing the underneath route. I like how he hit the wide receiver in stride, allowing him to run from the defender.
First down Pirates at the 33 of A&T. And up 3 receivers to the right, including Mixon.
Middle of the field is open.
Looking for Mixon, he has him again. Close to another first down, a little short at the 24-yard line, wrapped up by Lorenz Suttles.
Whenever they're going to leave the middle of the field open, that means they're going to bring pressure. They assume they can get to the quarterback before you can get rid of it. Great job of coming across the formation by Mixon, and Williamson recognizing where the pressure was coming from.
Keys, a late sub, gets in time for A&T. They're showing pressure. They rush 5 and sack him. Lost the football. Suttles knocked it out. No word or signal from the official yet. And they're saying that Hampton will keep possession.
Nah, I don't agree with that one, unless they're saying it wasn't a fumble at all. And I thought it was a fumble, and the ball clearly was never in control. Let's take a look. Suttles, that's their emotional big play defender. That ball's out, and they're going for it at the bottom, and nobody gains control of it. And when they finally do, I think North Carolina A&T comes away with this football.
Torian White of A&T looked like he's the one that recovered it. Another look from a different angle. And that ball's loose.
Yeah, he stayed loose, yeah. Torian White, who's been called into duty, backup offensive lineman. Olay block on Suttles, completely missed his man. His fault that the quarterback got hit and wasn't able to get the football. Great effort by Joshua Patrick.
And Patrick taking it away before White could get to it. It looks, Jay, wouldn't you agree that there's enough video evidence to overturn this?
I think it's clear. What's my TV show, Mark? Numbers never lie.
Yeah.
When it comes to North Carolina A&T on defense, they simply get after it.
One of the leaders in turnover margin in the FCS. Darrell Davis having to wrap that cord. Make sure you can hear from the replay booth. 8:24 to go in the fourth quarter. It's been all North Carolina A&T here in the second half. It was a 14-7 Hampton lead at the break.
And if you look at how A&T was able to get back in this football game, it was their star players showed up. I mean, Suttles is a guy we talked about from the impact. He's a guy, emotional engine, plays with a lot of emotion, has big play capability. I mean, he actually destroys that quarterback with that hit, takes him to the ground, dislodges the football.
I thought he had a moment for Hampton, but bounced right into the arms of Patrick. You know, we've documented tonight, Jay, the fact that A&T offensively has had 3 scoring plays of 60 or more yards. The longest play from the line of scrimmage tonight for Hampton was the fake punt that went for 32 yards.
It set up the score as well. And just like on that drive, it seemed as if the Hampton offense was going 5 wide receivers and finding some momentum.
Review. The offensive player did not control the ball. The ball was 35-yard line, first down.
They overturned the call, and it's A&T football. You can tell from Rod Broadway's reaction even before referee Darrell Davis explained it verbally. Neil Maynard, though, is wanting an explanation, but his team just turned it over for a second time tonight. So North Carolina A&T is now +10 in turnover margin this season.
Climbing up the charts. So Donald Maddox increased his lead as the interception leader in FCS football. 13 interceptions, that's a lot. I mean, in comparison, you look at a team like Hampton, they have 6. Maddox has 6 interceptions by himself. Very opportunistic defense. Small in stature. And that's why sometimes they give the appearance of having that bend but not break mentality.
Aggies now tied for second in the FCS with that +10 turnover margin. +2 tonight. So Canel Maynard has gotten an explanation from Darrell Davis. Probably not the one that Maynard was looking for, but it's a first down. A&T takes over at their own 35. To Tariq Cohen. Maybe 2. Brought down by Charles Owens. Let's revisit our impact players. Proctor's not been much of a factor, but Desmond Lawrence sure has on the receiving side for A&T.
Yeah, I think you see it for Hampton. Proctor, 1 catch, 20 yards. Thorne made some tackles, but look at the stars for North Carolina A&T. Desmond Lawrence, big night. We've seen Settle make big hit after big hit tonight. Include that last one, which got the football back for the Aggies.
Blue to Keys for a first down at the 43-yard line, but
defense, number 63, in the neutral zone at the snap. That penalty is declined. First down.
So refused the penalty, and it's a 29-yard pickup on the catch by Denzel Keys.
And what you're starting to see, because the impact players are showing up, you're starting to see a quarterback gain confidence in this game. Best pass we've seen Klug throw all game. He's starting to feel it. We see him on the sideline. He's smiling, talking to his teammates. Slowly but surely starting to feel more comfortable playing college football.
True freshman Hassan Klug making his second career start, second in as many weeks. Give to Cohen. Tripped up at the 37. Keith McAfee. Well, McAfee's had a busy night. Pirate defense, he's nearing double digits in tackles. Junior from Charlotte, McAfee. 7 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Clock right now, the ally of A&T. On the play clock, the snap, and Cohen not down yet. Unbelievable! He makes positive yardage out of that up to the 20-yard line. Gilchrist and Owens tackle him. It looked like he was going to lose double digits. Instead, he runs to 37 from that point.
Great run, great change of directions. No one man can bring him down. Even when you think you have the angle, you don't have the angle. Tariq Cohen, top 10 nominee.
So he actually gained 17 yards. But again, from where he had retreated to, From that spot, it went for about 37.
I think his whole game package has been a top 10 nominee.
Oh, yeah.
The 60-plus yard reception, the 60-plus yard run.
And Klug keeps it. And it's going to be first and goal. You know, that's a play right there that they ran against South Carolina State and fumbled the football last week. Jay, you remember that. And right there, Klug, confident and very late, pulled that away from Coleman.
Yep, and he's starting to feel comfortable and improve on his ball skills, not thinking so much. It's becoming a muscle memory reaction. And this is what he really needed. He needed the supporting cast to step up, and they've stepped up in a big way tonight.
11-yard run there for Klug. Set up the first and goal from the 10. And a spin.
Going on the carry.
That's Tyrone Ward with the tackle. That's about as exciting a yard-and-a-half gain as you'll see.
You have a feeling somebody's having fun on that football field right now. And Tariq Cohen always has fun on the football field. And it's interesting, you talk about, you know, how's he end up in North Carolina A&T. There was a school, St. Aul, Division II, here in the state of North Carolina, and they wouldn't recruit him. Talked to defensive coordinator from Hampton. He said, I told him we need to sign him. They said, well, he's too small. He's too small. He's only 5'6". Well, now you didn't recruit him. He's going to be a nightmare for many.
Nice tackle by Tyrone Ward. Saved another Cohen touchdown.
Coach Rob Broadway and staff said they went back and forth whether or not you offer him. And they said, you know what, let's act like we didn't know how tall he was and how big he was. If we judged it just by the film and what we saw when we went to go see him in person, would we sign him? And they said yes, and I think it's paid off tremendously for the Aggies.
Cohen has 236 total yards tonight. I guess the moral of that story, Jay, is if you see a kid that can play football, he can probably play football.
If he can play, he can play. I mean, in all sports, sometimes numbers over-exaggerate things. I mean, you think about Major League Baseball, somebody like Dustin Perdue, and in basketball, the little guys like Spud Webb. Players are players, and Tariq Cohen is showing everybody that passed on you missed a good one. He's a great player.
TCU Baylor, Saturday at 3:30.
ESPNU College Football Primetime is presented by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And in part by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
The Golden Delights wearing white tonight, Jay.
School colors are blue and gold.
Yeah. Well, North Carolina A&T with touchdowns in their first 3 possessions of the second half after trailing 14-7 at the intermission. Knocking on the door again, Tariq Cohen has a 68-yard touchdown catch and a 60-yard touchdown run on the sideline right now, but Cartwright tackled by Grooms.
Cartwright on the carry. Short left.
So on 4th down, they're going to bring out the field goal unit and sophomore kicker Cody Jones.
Yeah, and Hampton's going to call timeout. They don't want to let the clock continue to run. So the Pirates call timeout, trying to control the clock.
Well, a successful field goal here. That would make it a 31-14 game and make it a 3-possession football game. Long this year is 40 yards, 5 of 8 overall. 23-yard attempt here off the right hash. Out of the hold. Quayshawn Quick. And that is knocked through by Cody Jones. 24 unanswered points for North Carolina A&T. 3:53 to go in Greensboro. 31-14 Aggies.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman.
Canel Maynor back here at his alma mater. He played The Aggies played quarterback 90-91. He was first team all MEAC, and he was inducted into the A&T Sports Hall of Fame just about a month ago in September 4th. His homecoming tonight for his Hampton Pirates. Not been a pleasant one. At least it started out fairly well for the Pirates. They were up 14-7 at the half, but this second half the wheels have just come off, Jay.
And Connor Maynard, anybody that knows him knows he's an extremely competitive person. We saw the fire tonight, and he'll get him back. You know, Connor Maynard's a guy, he's almost a scratch golfer. 1 or 2 handicap, competes in everything, and just has to get some more pieces to the equation. Took on a buzzsaw in North Carolina A&T, his alma mater, team that was coming off a pretty poor performance versus South Carolina State. They played with a purpose tonight.
A little miscommunication between Allen and Banks on that short kickoff, and that was a live ball that was recovered by Banks at 10. So 3:49 to go. Hampton has 2 timeouts left. Bailey, new quarterback, lefty thrower in for Hampton. And completes a pass to Proctor. Overall, though, it's been a quiet night tonight, Jay, for Proctor. Came in 25 catches on the season.
Yeah, he's their playmaker. You know, when you watch him, they just don't seem to have the ability to get the ball to him. No fault of his own. He has the ability to get open. I think Hampton is a little bit unsettled at the quarterback position, because the games I saw Brian Bailey look very good in their victory they had over Miles. Now, it was Miles. I'm not going to knock Miles for being Division II, but Bailey looked good. Pretty good numbers there. Completed 63% of his passes and had 3 touchdowns in that game. But he brings a little bit more of a vertical threat.
He runs the football here. Looks like he'll have a first down at the 30-yard line. You know, we were watching him down on the field before the game of warm-ups, and that lefty thrower, you were comparing him to Clayton Kershaw. He's got a pretty good arm.
Got a good arm, but he's got a wind-up.
Yeah.
And I think if he shortens the wind-up, he can become a more efficient passer. He's got a nice frame at 6'2", a little bit less than 200 pounds. He can spin it with some velocity, but tends to drop that ball a little bit low.
And here he's going deep to show off that arm. And incomplete, gunning for Proctor at the 30-yard line of A&T. Donald Maddox on the coverage for the Aggies.
The North Carolina A&T defenders always put themselves in a pretty good position to go for the football. You'll see Bailey just let it go, and Maddox over the top, sees the ball the whole way, easily breaks up the play.
Second down.
Really a sophomore out of Woodruff, South Carolina, Woodruff High School. Take off again. Work his way for a first down up to the 41-yard line. Down by Tony McCray.
And that play selection works when you're trying to pick up, you know, first down or 2. Right now, North Carolina A&T has 3 defensive linemen. I want to call it 7 DBs and only 1 linebacker.
Just a little long for Proctor. See some things that you like, though, in Brian Bailey.
The release, you like the size, just a sophomore. And, I mean, if you look at it, Hampton's only won 1 football game this year. Who won the football game?
This guy right here. Mentioning the winner. Miles. 34-30 dropped. Harville, the intended receiver. The loss here tonight, Hampton's going to drop to 1-5 and 0-2 in conference. North Carolina A&T will improve to 5-2 and 2-1 in conference play. And I would say they stopped the bleeding. You know, they only lost the 1 game, and it's not like they had a long losing streak here. Ooh, vicious hit in midfield by Grant. Darius Banks. One number 4 landed on another number 4.
That is pursuit to the football. Side angle shot. Darius Banks, just a freshman from Newport News. Welcome to the MEAC.
5th-year senior Grant. Hampton goes forward on 4th down with just over 2 minutes to go. And will convert on the catch by Proctor.
You see what I see? What I tell you, I like Bailey. There's something there. I mean, that was a nicely thrown pass in rhythm. In stride on the money. Didn't take a while to get there. Ball had velocity on it.
First down, Hampton.
For the type of offense, I think ultimately Hampton's got to determine what type of offense they want to run. Do they want to run the dink and dunk offense, or do they want to have an offense that can stretch the ball downfield and hurt you?
Well, was it intercepted with him in bounds or not? That's Schaffner, but out of bounds. Well, up next for Hampton is the Battle of the Bay. They have Norfolk State next Saturday, a week from this Saturday. A&T will play at Delaware State on that same Saturday. Take it off. Bailey.
Bailey on the keeper.
About the 37-yard line. Here's a look ahead for A&T. You know, I say stop the bleeding, Jay, and maybe that's accurate because of what they experienced being shut out in Atlanta last Saturday. Was not pretty to watch for them offensively.
It was not, but I do like the adjustment that they've made as a coaching staff philosophy. He said, we're week to week right now. After they lost that game, they're week to week. They can't afford to look past anybody until they get settled at the quarterback position with quick. Delaware State at Delaware State, tough road trip, windy conditions, never easy to travel there. And they're going to play Florida A&M for homecoming here.
And a short week for them here. Obviously, they played Saturday. Hampton did not play last Saturday. They had a bye. Holding on to it a while, Bailey, and underthrows the receiver, incomplete. But the point being that now A&T has some time here, Jay, to try to get that left knee of Quick healed up where he can play a week from Saturday. That's going to be the question. Will he be able to play in their next game?
And they have a good opportunity to finish the season strong. We were talking to MEAC Commissioner Dennis Thomas before the game, and if North Carolina A&T can win out and finish the year 9-2, they've got an opportunity for consideration into the postseason.
Over the head of Bailey, who has to go all the way back to his own 42 and just throws a wounded duck up for grabs, and it's caught by Riddick at the 20-yard line. First down, Pirates.
Of all the teams that you don't want to throw the ball up for grabs against, it's this team. And you can tell the Aggie defenders are back there waiting for a free interception. But watch Riddick pick up momentum and jump, time it perfectly, and come down with the grab.
I assumed he was just going to try to throw it out of bounds. Maybe that ball must have been tipped, Jay, at all,
no,
perhaps, but it just...
He was flinging it. He was willing to risk an interception.
Now he's looking towards the end zone, and that is almost picked off. And Lockhart.
His pass is incomplete. Second down.
There's 35 seconds left.
Every time you see a secondary defender, they're always squared up and looking at the quarterback. What you have to do is you have to throw the ball before they settle in their drop zone.
Vincent catches, but then is immediately dropped by Suttles.
I like Suttles. I mean, he has that big play potential. Plays. They list him as a Sam linebacker, but he's more like a rover. He can cover 6'2", 190 pounds, nice range, good ball skills.
Final seconds. The whistle will prevent us from seeing zeros, at least momentarily. Bailey on this drive, 40 yards, 29 of those his own rushing yards.
offense. 5-yard penalty, third down. Hampton has elected to use one of his charged timeouts to avoid the second runoff.
Yeah, so they have the timeout available, 2 of them, now 1 left to avoid the runoff that would have ended the game. Big rivalry game with Norfolk State for Hampton a week from Saturday in the Battle of the Bay. That is what's ahead for the Pirates.
Norfolk State, that's the rivalry we talked about, the game coming up. Surprisingly, they're undefeated in conference play. You've got Delaware State, Kermit Blunt. They're just lurking. They're just lurking. And obviously Bethune-Cookman. And then the battle, they call it the battle for the real HU.
I want to hear you comment on that.
Well, there's only one HU. There's an HIU and there's an HU. So I call it the football game versus Howard.
That's what will end the regular season for Hampton and Howard on November 22nd. Now the return of Coach Maynor. It was a good first half, but in the second half, A&T awakens with 3 TDs on their first 3 possessions of the half. Win it going away. Final play of this one, Bailey jump ball in the end zone, incomplete, and it's over. 31-14, North Carolina A&T over Hampton tonight here in Greensboro.
Coach Broadway got the Aggies back on track. For Hampton, more work that needs to be done in trying to restore the glory days.
College football weekend kickoff coming your way next. The handshakes between Coach Maynor and Broadway. That's going to take care of things from Greensboro. For Jay Walker and our entire ESPNU crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. So long from Greensboro, North Carolina.
All right, so Hampton can't get their first conference win of the season. They lose to North Carolina A&T. I'm Brendan Fitzgerald along with Charles Arbuckle. This is weekend kickoff, and we start with our top.
I like that kind of expectancy level.
Well, Devin Johnson went over the 100 mark for the 6th time already this season, but he had 2 receiving touchdowns as well. He's standing by with Kennedy.
Devin, what an outstanding performance you gave tonight. What can you say about your performance?
You know, the line did a great job, and Cato did a great job communicating with me, you know, and checking the play. You know, and it shows that we could be a great team, and, you know, and we come up here and beat a great FIU team, and we got to just come back next week and even work even harder.
What did Coach Holliday say during halftime? Because you just came out and turned this team around.
You know, he told the leadership to step up. You know, told Rouse, Cato, me, and Jaspers, the offensive line center, and he told us, you know, we need to step up. Leadership needs to step up. We need to come out here and make some plays, and that's what I try to do for the team.
What can you say about this team? Because they're so effective in all phases of the game.
You know, we're great. You know, Cato quarterback and Rouse, the defense, you know, they make great plays. And, you know, in the first half, the defense kept us in it, you know, and we knew we had to come out offensively and step up because the defense was playing a great game.
Now, I know Cato doesn't like to talk about his personal accolades, but as a teammate, what can you say about him breaking that record?
He deserves it. He deserves it. Cato deserves it the way he works, and he got the heart, and he loves the game of football. And you just see him during the weeks of practice, how he pushes us, and he's a great leader. He deserves everything he gets.
Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations.
Well, Devin Johnson broke off a 71-yard run, but the 2 touchdown receptions, that's what he'll remember when he hits the sack tonight.
Hey, when you look at that guy, you just think STUD. What a stud he is. I mean, come on, look at that guy, and you got to tackle him.
31 second-half points for the Thundering Herd. They win at 45-13. And we'll be back to wrap things up here from Miami, Florida, right after this.